What's going on, guys, and welcome to my review of Superman. Like I promised I was going to review these movies after the disappointing lack from E3 from WB and Rocksteady. Like I said I was going to review these movies either way, so here we are. So, where do I even begin? I mean, let me just start with the cast. I think the cast and the characters is probably what makes this movie work and what makes this movie shine, especially the man himself, Christopher Reeve. May he rest in peace. Superman, Clark Kent, Kal-El. This Christopher Reeve, man, he nailed who Clark Kent was and who Superman was. And you don't see that a lot these days. You don't see a lot of ability. You don't really see that a lot where, like, you have the cover-up character, like, for example, like Clark Kent or Peter Parker, where they have to act a certain way so that they can cover up who they really are. And that's why I love the first two Spider-Man movies, because it's a lot like the Christopher Reeve Richard Donner movies, where it's like, they are able to, separate the, dual identities. They have two identities, and they're able to, express it perfectly. But I believe that Christopher Reeve Superman probably is the best, and probably will still be the best Superman ever. Like, he nailed the character. He nailed everything. Like, everything. Even when he was Clark Kent, I loved seeing him on screen. I smiled because I'm like, this guy is so good. He's so cool. Even when and that's a lot. When I am happy enough just to see Clark Kent on the screen, that's enough. That's good. Like, that means you're doing a good job. So, applause all around, man. Just great job. All right, let's talk about Lois Lane. I'll be honest, Lois Lane is good, not my ideal Lois Lane. Like, if you were to ask me what my favorite Lois Lane is, I'd probably point to Smallville. The Smallville Lois Lane is probably the best, picture or idea of what I would think of Lois Lane. Whew, I catch my breath. I'm out of breath, man. Margaret Kinder? Sorry, I butchered that name, but she was really good. She was really, really good as Lois Lane. Again, not my favorite, but amazing. And then you got Pa Kent, Glenn Ford. We didn't see him a lot in this movie, but he was a big impact on, of course, Superman, Kal-El, Clark. So, it's good that he was a big part, even though he wasn't in the movie that much, because this is a 2-hour and 30-minute movie. This is a really, really long movie, and it takes its sweet time. Like, it really takes a while before things do start kicking off, and I'll get more into that as I continue, but yeah, great. Mrs. Kent, I'm gonna butcher this name. Silo Taxer? Thaxter? Sorry, butchering those names. Am I out of focus? There we go. I was out of focus for a minute. That was weird. That was different. Jor-El, Marlon Brando. Not a lot to say here. He does what he needs to do. He does his job as, his Clark's dad, Kal-El's dad. So, it works. It works. Nothing too spectacular, I feel like, but, again, it's like, it's Jor-El. What are you gonna do? It's pretty simple. Jimmy Olsen, Mark McCurley, that's his name? He was pretty cool. I wish I got to see him more, but he was really cool in this movie. I love a lot of, they have a lot of good moments of comedy in this movie, which really works, and it's great, and it really, it really is refreshing to go back and watch a DC movie that is not so dark and that, you know, can have fun, and it can be bright, and it can have those moments of, you know, comedy and happiness and all that stuff. So yeah, like, I love this movie. This is a great movie. Perry White, Jackie Cooper, man, like he is like, he's cool, man. We haven't seen, I don't really think I remember too much of Perry White in, I think it was Superman Returns, and then you had the one in Man of Steel. I think I would say that this one is my favorite, I think. I'd have to go back and watch. Obviously we will, because we're reviewing all the Superman movies, but Perry White, great. Like again, majority of this cast, like, it's pitch perfect. Like they nail all the roles perfectly. Like it's almost straight out of a comic book. Like, that's how good it is. Miss Tessmacher! Like, yes, so we gotta talk about her. What is her name? Valerie Perrin? I probably butchered that last name, but she had a pretty big role as Lex's little sidekick. And I gotta say, she, I don't know, like, back in the day, like, again, I didn't read a lot of Superman comics, but back in the day, it's like I'm pretty sure it was Lex Luthor, because I grew up with the animated series and with Smallville and some of those, you know, the 2000 type of Superman. But I did watch these movies, but it was like, okay, who's Miss Tessmacher? Sorry, I butchered her name again. Yeah, like he had these like little sidekicks, and it's like, you know, they were funny, they were great, like, they were able to have these great funny moments, but I didn't understand it, but it was awesome. Okay, so let's get on to the actual movie review, because I feel like I'm taking too long. This movie, like I said, is amazing. It is exactly what Superman should be. It is exactly what it's supposed to be. And it's probably one of the reasons why I love it so much, is because it takes those things from the comics. It's not afraid to take things from the comics, because it knows it's going to do it right. It knows it's going to do it right. And it knows it's going to do it justice. That's why, you know, Richard Donner, he knew what he was doing. He was confident enough to take the story and adapt it into a movie the way he did it, and it worked, because he had confidence in what he was doing. A lot of people these days, when they direct movies, these directors, they don't know what the fuck they're doing. Let's be honest. They don't know what they're doing. They're pretty stupid. Sorry to all you directors out there, but, you know, majority of you don't really know what you're doing, especially with the latest movies that have come out. A lot of them rely on CGI, a lot of them rely on heavy action scenes, because superhero movies are just so big. And, you know, again, going back to this movie and realizing superhero movies were not big, and how it was a simpler time, and they really wanted to take their time with this, you know, they really wanted to take their time with this. Again, that's why, like I said, it's 2 hours and 30 minutes long. This movie is long. It's probably the longest Superman movie I've ever watched in my life. It is ridiculously long, but it's good because it takes the time to develop everything. The beginning of how Jor-El and Krypton blew up, and how he went to Earth, and the Kents found him, and he raised him as a human, and he finds out he has all these powers. And then he finds out he has a different dad, and then he, you know, becomes Superman, and then he shows himself to the world, and then he runs into Lex Luthor, and then you know the story. And, you know, this movie did it right. A lot of movies these days, I feel like, don't do it right. A lot of these movies feel like that they need to change just for the sake of changing, or trying to be different, or trying to be something that is speaking to the audience, either politically or, you know, just a theme backing up what the director believes and things like that, which can be a good thing and a bad thing, because with this movie, when you go back and watch this movie, they weren't trying to be political. They weren't trying to send a message. They were just trying to give you what the movie is called, and it's called Superman. That's what they were giving you, and that's what they delivered, and that's what was so great about this movie. And that's why I'm giving this a 10 out of 10. Obviously, it's the best Superman movie ever. Like, there's no person out there, and majority of us can agree, this is the best Superman, this is the best Superman movie, and this is what it's supposed to be. So anyway, guys, let me know what you guys think about this review. I know I spent a lot of time on the cast, did a brief little summary about the story, because all you guys should know the story by now. So anyway, guys, let me know what you guys think about this movie, because I love this movie. Like I said, Superman's my second favorite superhero, but, you know, he does do a lot in the comics and in the movies to make me almost put him in my first, because he's such a good character. But anyway, guys, let me know what you guys think, and I'm out of here. Up, and away. See you guys.